You are at Lake Rant, where I rant about whatever my $15 a month plus patrons want me to rant about. You can get one of these by being one of those. This one's for Wise Dude, who says, "Sorry for being late on this, but for this month's rant, can you please rant about Cream Lemon, specifically Part 4? This is the part that Hideaki Anno did animation for." And apparently I had missed this the previous month. Sorry about that. I think I missed it because I wanted to watch it at a time where, I could watch pornography and also enjoy the episode at the same time. But I finally did that yesterday, and this episode is really great. It's one of my favorite anime porn OVAs of all time. And I already knew that from before because even though I had not watched the entire thing, I had watched the Yuri scene that's in it plenty of times on its own on other websites because it's the best Yuri scene ever animated. Like, it's this incredibly realistic, long, sensual, super erotic sequence of these two girls fucking, and it's like they're just really strong character designs, but also like more realistically drawn. Because like in the early days of anime hentai, like they really tried to make the girls look kind of more like real Asian girls as opposed to like anime characters exactly, you know. So like it's really sexy and hot, and I had this headcanon sort of that it was like this is what it would look like if Ruby and Sapphire from Steven Universe were having sex because they happen to have the hair colors of them. But anyway, yeah, it's a great sex scene. So the full episode though is great for very different reasons. And if you wanted to watch this because you're hoping to watch like a great Yuri OVA, you will be disappointed because the pink-haired girl also fucks a guy and likes it more ultimately. But the actual tenor of what happens in this, they walk this amazing tightrope with the storytelling where they manage to sort of simultaneously play into like some of the tropes of these porn OVAs while also subverting them in really interesting ways that make it very entertaining. So the whole thing takes place on Neo, Kansas, which is not in any way Kansas because it looks like the Wild West, and it starts off with this blue-haired girl like coming into town on like a motorcycle or something, and she goes to the local bar, but the bar has like 10 girls in sailor uniforms in it and is like a brothel essentially. And the bartender is just like, "Oh, sailor uniforms are the ultimate like way to show like cute girls or whatever, you know, so like that's the way this bar is, and it's the only bar in town." The blue-haired girl is like not into it. She's like, "This is silly." But one of the girls is like flirting with her at the bar, and she's the pink-haired girl, and she's like, "Hey, if you want, the services of the call girls at this bar, let me know." Well, then she comes into the blue-haired girl's room later while she's like, just on the bed, and basically comes over to tell her like, I would really, because she's heard that like there's this group of bandits or whatever who are in town who have been fucking up business there, who have been like just like running roughshod and making it so people don't come to the town. So blue haired girl is basically planning to do something about this. Like tomorrow she's gonna go out and she's gonna try to kill all these guys. I don't know if she's trying to collect a bounty or what, but she's gonna defend the town. And so pink haired girl is so excited that she's going to do this that she wants to fuck her. So, like, blue-haired girl doesn't really want this at first, but she gets coerced, she likes it, they have a great time, and that's the amazing sex scene. So, what happens is, while they're, like, knocked out, the place suddenly gets bombed, and the bandits are in, like, these fucking two-legged mech suit things, and this is where we start getting to, like, the Hideaki Anno explosion cuts and all of the crazy action stuff that, like, this episode is more lauded for, which is funny because what it deserves to be lauded for is having some of the best-looking sex scenes ever. Like, yes, it's cool that there are, like, cool-looking explosions and some decent animation cuts. You can get that kind of stuff in a lot of places from this era, but the sex scenes are fucking incredible, and there's really nothing else that I don't think any other anime has as like well animated and sensual of sex scenes as this particular episode of this OVA. which is why I like it so much. But anyway, so what happens is these bandits, they come through, they break up the building, and they take all the girls, all the Fuku girls, and they just like drive off into a canyon somewhere and just start raping them. And they're just fucking them all. They're just like tearing all their clothes off and raping them, you know? And like, granted, we know these girls are prostitutes. They're used to having sex with lots of guys, but they're not being paid, and they didn't ask for it. So they're all kind of like, you know, they clearly don't want it, even if they're people who are more, I guess, disposed to handling taking random cock. But the pink haired girl is taken by like the bandit leader, and he tells her that he doesn't want to force her, and she seems to be kind of into him because she thinks he's good looking and he seems to be nicer to her. But then he just goes ahead and starts raping her. So he goes through like each step of it, and like she's resisting for the most part. So like clearly he was lying about wanting yes for an answer. But what he's thinking is that he's confident enough that he's a good enough fuck that he's going to convince her that she likes it. And that's exactly what happens. So he's fucking this girl, super erotic sex scene. Eventually, she's liking it. She's got her legs around him. She's taking the cock really hard, right? So this is the cliche. This is the like, what tends to happen in these OVAs is that you can just rape a girl until she likes it, and it's a cliche that allows you to basically have your cake and eat it too, I guess. But where they flip it on its head is that then the blue-haired girl shows up to start taking out all the bandits. And she's saving all the girls, she's killing all the bandits, she's fucking just laying waste to this whole place. And the girls are jumping in to help her, they're beating up on guys, they're like taking their weapons and fucking fighting back, you know. And but meanwhile, the pink-haired girl who's come to really enjoy having sex with this guy is insisting on continuing to ride his dick, even though he's trying to like man his mech and go in to fight the blue-haired girl. So like she's now in the way, and she's like fucking around with the controls, and like she just refuses to leave his cock because I guess it's really massive and she really likes fucking him. So this whole like long ass battle scene goes by of her just like riding this dude essentially to a point where she is now raping him because he's like begging her to stop and does not want, but she refuses. So and it of course foils his ability to pilot the robot. It gets blown up. But then they come out of the rubble, the girl survives, and she pulls the guy out. She's like, so I'm going to get married to this guy. And, like, so everybody's bewildered. Blue-haired girl, in spite of the fact that she had such a, like, intimate, sex with this girl before, has completely lost out. The guy has been totally foiled, and now he is, I guess, her sex slave. And she is just smiling like a cheeky 80s anime OVA girl. It's pretty fucking hilarious and a lot of fun. I like it a lot.